All right, we're back, fight fans. It's the DAZN Boxing Show. I go by the name of Ak.
And I'm Barack, the boxing bully.
And in light of an amazing trilogy we just saw last week, Chocolatito versus Estrada, we want to give you our favorite 5 trilogies of all time in no particular order. You ready for this?
You sure you didn't mean Fury Chisora? Or
I'm
in light of that
1,000% sure.
All right.
I didn't mean that one. And that's no disrespect to that fight. All right, Chisora poured his butt off, right?
No, stop. We're not even put that in the list of trilogies. That's not a trilogy.
All right. Let's go right into
trilogy,
them.
the same guy lost every fight.
We're going to kick it off. Now, this fight, these two gentlemen actually ended up fighting 4 times, but we only talking trilogies. Let's not talk about that vicious knockout in the 4th fight. Let's talk about the first 3.
We have to.
Right? Manny Pacquiao versus Juan Manuel Marquez. Listen, the first fight was a war. Barack ended in a split draw. But the next 2 fights, I have my opinions on them. Second fight was great. I truly feel that Marquez won the 3rd fight, Barack. I'm not even talking the 4th.
I don't agree with that. I don't think the 3rd fight was as exhilarating as the other 2, but I do feel like Manny Pacquiao stole the rounds. He didn't land great hard shots. He didn't hurt Marquez too much, but he landed enough, in my opinion, to win that fight. And that's why they had to force it to the 4th.
Yeah, no, I mean, in my opinion, it wasn't even close. Like, meaning that there was the way I scored it. The fight was close, but I'm talking about scoring. I scored it 8 rounds to 4 for Marquez in that fight when, just effective punching. And no, I'm talking about even though the rounds that I gave Marquez, they were close rounds, but I just thought he edged them out.
I think a lot of people thought that Marquez won the 1st and the 2nd one. And I know people thought he won the 3rd one as well, but I thought Manny Pacquiao won, and I believe we needed that 4th one. But that 4th one, to me, was the best one.
Yeah, I mean, it solidified everything. Yeah, and that's why, when it comes to decisions and stuff like this, it's all opinion-based, it's because I felt the total opposite. I felt like Pacquiao won the 2nd one and lost the 3rd. So, all right, let's move on.
What was crazy about this fight is, I mean, kind of like, let me see, there was other fights that maybe... Who else out there? There was other trilogies that had each fight in a different weight class. And I know for sure this one started at what? 126 pounds and went all the way up to welterweight, 147 pounds. So that's 21 pounds they went up amongst these 4 fights.
Let's move on to the next one, Barack. And this is probably the most epic trilogy of them all. Like we said earlier, no particular order. But the first fight was probably on a lot of people's list as the greatest fight of all time, and that's Arturo Gatti versus Mickey Ward 1, Atlantic City, Boardwalk Hall. It was a fight that was scheduled for 10 rounds, no championships on the line. It was just 2 tough fighters that they matched up together. They had no idea that this fight would be this epic. I'm talking about the back and forth, brutal attacks from each guy. I'd never seen anything so vicious and so beautiful at the same time. It was arguably the greatest fight of all time. I'm talking about the first one. Now, I mean, you could touch on a trilogy, Barack, but I'm so stuck on that first fight.
Oh, the first one is definitely, I mean, it was Ring Magazine Fight of the Year. Most of these trilogies, at least one of the fights was a Fight of the Year, at least. And that's usually the signature of a good trilogy, And it was an incredible fight. I think the wrong person won. And literally, I believe it was the 4th round. Gatti got.
You're talking about the first one. You're talking about one, right?
Yeah. See, Gatti got. See, this is the thing. In some of these trilogies, if the fighter who wasn't supposed to win didn't win, it probably wouldn't have all of this, And I think it was the 4th round where Gatti got deducted a point for a low blow. Now, if it wasn't for that point, he would have won, and it probably would have never been a trilogy. So thank God for that.
Yeah. Oh, obviously, if Gatti would have got past Ward would have just moved on. Continue to be a journey.
Because Gatti was on his way. He was already a champion at 130. He was on his way to move up and become a champion at 140, because that very next fight after the trilogy was a championship fight for him. And he became a champ at 140. So Ward was supposed to be like, not a soft touch, but he was supposed to be just a part of the journey.
A journeyman. That's right. But obviously, Gatti, in the second fight avenged that loss.
Now he avenged that loss. And did exactly what he was supposed to do in the first fight. And my favorite fight was the second fight the 3rd fight, because in the 3rd fight, Gatti hurt his hand. I think he broke his right hand in like the 4th round and outboxed Ward with one hand. I mean, it was brilliant.
I mean, great trilogy. All right, let's move on to the next. Now, the first fight, Barack, this first fight was the fight of the century, 1971. And March 8th, 1971, if I'm not mistaken, Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, you was like 10 years old then, right? You was watching that?
Yeah, no, I wasn't watching that fight, but a few years back, I did some research on it, and it was the biggest fight ever at that point. I mean, two heavyweights, they were undefeated. These guys were equal in a lot of people's opinions. It was anticipated. Ali had fought before that, and he looked a little shabby. People was they had their negative opinions about the fight before that, but they wanted to see this fight. A lot of people predicted Frazier would win the first fight. Barack, Joe Louis did, because of the long layoff that Ali had. But it was nothing short of an epic fight, no question about it. I mean, back and forth. Ali started with his jab and his speed, 1-2, but slowly but surely, Smoking Joe Frazier got close, underneath, and started landing that left hook.
History shows us that true champions come off of a long layoff, and fight the best. Errol Spence, Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali still has the confidence to come in there and fight the unified champion in Joe Frazier. That was an incredible fight. No, we weren't alive to see it live, but that's the good thing about YouTube. Incredible fight. Now I see why they called it the fight of the century.
No doubt. And obviously Ali won the next two fights, but
wasn't easy.
I want to touch on the Thriller in Manila, Barack. This fight was obviously in the Philippines. It was to break the tie, obviously in the trilogy, but there are reports that this fight was viewed by over 1 billion people in the world. I mean,
that's what they say.
That's what they say. Now we don't know that, but it was in so many countries, 12 different languages. When you count the closed circuit and the amount of people that were, they had the attention and wanting to watch this fight, this was bigger than the Super Bowl at the time.
Yeah,
it was the first fight between those two guys.
Right. What's crazy is that back then you had closed circuit TV, which is like you can go to like a movie theater, or you can go to some places and pay to watch it on a movie screen, so that did over 100 million. Imagine that today. And the pay-per-view only did like 500,000. That was HBO pay-per-view, but you got 100 million people went somewhere out of their homes to watch the number one sport at that time.
No, it was insane. And even going back to the first one, Barack, both guys split $5 million, 2.5. And that was in 1971. What that would have been worth now was crazy. These guys was making millions back then. Epic battle. Ali got the best of the two fights.
But he said, he almost quit. And that 14th round, if Eddie Futch didn't say, okay, that's it for Joe Frazier, it was 125 degrees in Manila. And like I said before, this was Ring Magazine's Fight of the Year, and that's a good sign for a trilogy. At least one of the fights is a Fight of the Year.
Look, when a fight is involving two warriors that are cut from that cloth that Ali and Frazier was, you're always going to get an epic battle, man. Those guys are different, right? And keeping it on the heavyweight division, Barack, we were fortunate enough to be a part of this trilogy, right? To see these fights, to watch them live, and I'm talking Fury, Wilder. Oh my God. Look, the first fight, competitive fight. We all saw Fury get up from the canvas twice. It was a close fight. A lot of people felt he won. Fight ended in a draw. They had to do it again. Second fight, there's a lot of drama attached to it when you talk about the training and all that sort of jazz. But Barack, was there a better heavyweight fight than the third one that you've ever watched?
Not that I've ever watched live. Were there other heavyweight fights? Yeah, but not that I've ever watched live. I even think Wilder Ortiz, the first one was a great fight as well, ebbs and flows, but yes, that one was good. I wasn't actually there for the first one. I mean, neither were you. We weren't there live.
Well, we were there, but we left the building
a little early.
A little earlier.
Like two dummies, what I'm saying, to go record a radio show.
For our old job, Sirius XM.
Right. Mm-hmm. So yes, the third fight was incredible. The second fight had so much controversy because Deontay felt, that Fury cheated. But the third fight, I mean, come on. Both of these guys hit the canvas a few times Fury hit the canvas twice in the same round. And I believe in the 10th round, he was hurt and the referee caught him and like right at the bell though, walked him to his corner. Like these guys were going all out. Both of them, I'm sure, had months and months to recover after that. Like had to recover at least for months.
Absolutely. Look, and Wilder went on the Shield. He wanted to. He fought like a gladiator, like a warrior. Epic fight. One of the best I've ever watched live. And lastly, on our top 5, in no order, trilogies of all time, Barrera, Morales. You know, Barack, talk about epic fights. I mean, the first fight, look, Morales was coming off a big stoppage victory, became champion. Barrera was WBO. Morales, I believe, might have been a WBC. So this is a unification bout. Yep. And these guys, smaller guys, I think the first fight was at 122, super bantamweight, if I'm not mistaken. These guys went at it. And Barrera didn't fight, he didn't box as good as, he didn't put his best foot forward in terms of technically. You know, he's a guy that knows how to box. We all saw.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. At that particular time, that was kind of like his style. I think as he went on, he became a better technical fighter. Like that fighter that fought Nassim, that wasn't the same fighter that fought Morales.
You're right to some degree. What I'm saying is, I've always seen technical abilities in Barrera, even earlier on in his career. Not to say that he would fight entire fights like that, but he had it in him. You know, and obviously he got better at it, to your point, as he went on, but he always had it in him. But that was a war, and look, Morales got the best of it. A lot of people felt that Barrera won that fight. That's
the thing. This is another one like Gatti Ward that, you know, the right person probably didn't win the first one. I believe Barrera won that fight. You know what I mean? So it was a very, very close fight. It was a split decision win for Eric Morales. And I kind of agree with you that maybe Morales could have fought a little bit better, but I think he wanted to pressure him. This again, 2000, this was the fight of the year. These great trilogies. That first round, there was no feeling out. First 2 rounds, there was no feeling out. It was no feeling out rounds. They went right at it, and it's because of Barrera. Listen,
Barrera came back, won the second fight. Again, started to using that technical ability, and he was able to outbox him, I believe, in a unanimous decision in the second fight. And obviously the third one.
And this is another one where they boxed at a different division each time. Started at 122, 126 to 130. You know, it went up 8 pounds, but still, a weight division is a weight division.
All right, well listen, those are our picks for top 5 best trilogies of all time, in no particular order. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace and love. Stay safe. We're out of here.
Introducing the new DAZN Boxing Show podcast. No matter the time or the place, getting your boxing content has become easier than ever. Tune in as we give you exclusive insights, predictions, fight night recaps, and more alongside the biggest names in the game. All for free. Available globally every Thursday across all audio streaming platforms and with new episodes dropping weekly to give you the latest news. Just type in the DAZN Boxing Show podcast, listen in, and enjoy.